I like to think of myself as a bit of a gentleman. When I take a girl out, I always drive. That way she can get drunk. Maybe I can root her in the back of the car afterwards. I always tell my girls it's better to give than to receive, right after anal. I never tell them to do two things at once. It tends to be too big a mouthful. And I know what you're thinking, huh? Just because it fits, it doesn't mean it belongs in there, huh? I've actually had a few nights on the piss recently, and I've come to the conclusion that the difference between a night on the piss and a night on the rack, one ends in a 2-hour wank, the other a kebab. I was watching the Wallabies on Sunday Arvo, and I got a call on my mobile, and it was my grandfather, and I was a bit alarmed, you know. Usually when the oldies ring, they ring and leave a message on your landline saying, "Son, call me, it's urgent." You get it the following day. Well, anyway, I've picked it up, and I'm like, "Granddad, what's the problem?" And he goes, "Donny, are you watching the Wallabies?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, they're not going too well, mate." And I'm like, "Well, fuck." I said, "Tell me something I don't know already, you stupid old prick." And he goes, "All right, son, last night I stuck 4 oysters up your nana's cunt and sucked out 5. Come on, guys, I could have said the old Kilpatrick joke. Can't do that, you know that version? That's up the poop-up. You know what? But he's a funny old guy. He's one of those sort of old school guys where, you know, he actually doesn't think that anyone in the world is gay. He says he likes to give people the benefit of doubt. It's like, fair enough. And I mean, I've started playing netball, right? You know what the hardest thing about playing netball is? It's not the Nazi-style defending. You know what? The hardest thing about playing netball, it was actually telling my granddad that I'm a fucking faggot. I was wandering through the living room at home the other day, and my flatmate, he's a school teacher, and he said to me, he goes, "Donny, mate, I'm learning about the stolen generation." And it made me think, it's actually not a bad concept. It was just the wrong generation. If they'd done this 50 years ago, and someone came along and stole Tony Abbott and Julia Gillard, then how much better would it be? And you know what? It's not that far-fetched. When you think about it, the guy's nickname is Abbo. It's hard to see people out there, so I don't know who's actually giving me the dirty look or not. Might be time for a round of black Zambucas, huh? It's like an echo, it sort of lands at the back at the end. But, you know, Julia and Tony, I think it's important that Tony continues to go toe-to-toe with Julia, because if he goes finger to finger, she'll be far too strong. Anyone know what defeat smells like? Julia Gillard, hello. I heard she was, she signed up someone to help her with her delivery. Apparently, 2 fingers down the pants isn't working for her anymore. But if those 2 fingers had been down her pants, I'd be thinking the smell would be something along the lines of maybe illiterate lobster or something sort of feral like that. I heard Julia speaking the other day, if you can call it that, and she said that she had the hots for Usain Bolt. I think she's trying to pull a fast one there. And then I also heard that she was thinking of marriage, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm all for same-sex marriage, as long as it's not 2 fucking faggots. But it's perfect, actually, because Tim, the guy, you know, whatever his name is, the partner, he's a hairdresser. So he goes to work every day and works these 2 fingers. But it's perfect for Julia, huh? I'm sure that cock of his is just for show. Huh? And you know what? It was her 50th birthday 2 weeks ago, and apparently she's a massive Western Bulldogs fan. And so they made her an honorary bulldog. I once had some wild sex with a woman, and at the end of it, she actually looked like a bulldog eating custard. And I mean downstairs, down here, that's what I mean. And I reckon that would be right up Julia's alley, you know, you know. Finally, I'm a big believer in charity. If men do Movember, I think women should do Cocktober. And I think one of you girls should come and see me about that later. You know, it could be your legacy. Thank you very much.
Donny Walker, ladies and gentlemen.